Good morning, everybody. Dixie reporting for duty. It's been a little bit since my last update. I went to do an update yesterday, and I think I've been doing so many videos on my laptop that there wasn't enough space left. So I had to clear out some of the old videos just to make space to be able to do this. Obviously, as you can see since my last update, we lost Iron Mouse in very dramatic fashion. She definitely made a mark this season. And I think, in fact, Mouse being gone was actually kind of interesting insofar as it made majority rules, I think, a little bit tougher to do because I think Mouse filled the position of, unfortunately, one of the people that was going to get some of the maybe more negative superlatives like drama queen, etc. So that kind of threw things off a little bit, but I think that the lead that we should run with is that Mouse ended up leaving the server before she was voted out. So I'm hoping she's just cooling off, blowing off steam, and that she'll be back. But yeah, as of right now, it still says she's on the jury. I tend to hate when people quit jury and then pre-jurors kind of ascend, just because it feels like they I don't know, they haven't been sequestered in the same way oftentimes. They may have access to some pre-jury sentiment. Um, and yeah, it's just awkward. So I hope Mouse comes back just because for my own just peace of mind. Like, I hate when the apple cart is interrupted. Like, I hate self votes when they're, somebody that just doesn't vote. I, yeah, I want it to be as much like real Survivor in the virtual world as possible. Um, Mouse was definitely not happy with me. I think it's pretty rich because she spent a lot of time fixating on pre existing relationships only to basically expect me to parlay perhaps my longest pre existing relationship in the cast in order to figure out a way to keep her. And just didn't make sense for my game. She was talking about how she was going to be loyal and honest, but in my experience, I don't think that she showcased that in particular the first round of the merge, or in basically any of kind of the like walk with me conversations that I had. Like, I feel like I gave Mouse an opportunity to open up more about maybe some of the rumors that have been flying around. For instance, the Evie Dixie thing. But yeah, it wasn't something that I relished seeing Mouse go. In fact, I think I would have preferred to see somebody like Nathan or even Symmetra go. But at the same time, it's kind of like the amount of social capital that I would have had to put out, and even the prospect of pulling it off. I think I would have done serious damage to my game if I tried to keep Mouse, when it was basically a consensus kind of early merge sort of agreement. It was 12-1, so even the Lendells ended up piling on. I think there's some concern about a pagonging situation, but I don't foresee this being a pagonging. Mouse was also trying to appeal to the fact that Ochette and I are winners and that people aren't going to let us get much further. And I don't necessarily agree that that's necessarily how things are going to go, but I could be completely delusional. I mean, I could go next and she'll probably laugh in my face if she comes back to jury and be like, you should have kept me, bitch. But overall, I think it was the best move. For my game, I mean, what she wasn't even giving me any alternatives. So, um, that expectation for me to find an alternative when, as much as she said that Lendell wasn't close, I doubt she would have wanted to vote for any of the Lendells. And I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm close game wise with Quilava or even Spyro at this point, which we'll get into a little bit more later on in this confessional. But I just don't know what other option I really had that she would have entertained. Um, and so, yeah, basically, there's no longer a mouse in our house. Moving on, we had majority rules, which, like I said, mouse being gone made it kind of interesting. So I guess we'll just kind of go through here and maybe talk through some of these. So definitely expected. This is so neat, by the way, the little monikers in our Discord avatar. It wasn't a thing that we did during season 3, so it's a fun addition. But majority rules is always interesting because it gives you an eye into perception, and who has their finger on the pulse of that perception. I expected Conquer to get a lot of the good ones. I think he is probably playing, if not the best game, the most dangerous game insofar as I think if he can leverage his position to a final tribal council seat, I think that Conquer has a really good chance to win the game because he's basically good with everybody at this point. And I think that Conquer's a very good player, but I think that the way that he handles the house of cards that he's built throughout the rest of the merge will be interesting and determinative of kind of what the attitude of the jury might be toward him if he is sitting at the end. But I do think he is playing probably the most dominant game, if not the best game. I think he has the most capital and the most power built up. And I think part of that is because he's willing to play basically anybody. He can sugarcoat it as much as he wants, but really he's playing Quilava and Spyro right now like a fiddle. He has great relationships with basically all of his original tribe on Limgrave. He seems to be pretty locked in with Aerith, Zag, and me. I mean,